next. Yes. I don't know. I hope people cut onto that. The mother in the hood is separate.
I think they did.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like any of my friends that I've grown up with or that I keep in contact with right now know that, like, being a mom is the most amazing job that they've ever had, but it also is hood as fuck.
It's the hood.
It's so hood.
Yeah.
You have to figure that shit out, like, day to day.
Oh, yeah. It's like, for me... I don't know if you ever seen that damn Dave Chappelle special where he's like, where are you taking me? To the limo driver?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, drugstore, liquor store, gun store, where are you taking me? That's what motherhood's like. It's like diamond store, bottle store, wipe store, where are you taking me?
Where are we going?
To the hood. Motherhood.
Made it here.
0 out of 10.
I was about to say 0 out of 10 stars.
But I would still recommend.
Oh, I mean, yes, 100%. So that's what's hard to be like, God, it sucks a lot of the time, but a lot of the time it's fucking fulfilling to be like, look what my kid accomplished. Look what I gave birth to. Like, look how smart my kid is. Look how advanced they are in sports. So, like, at the same time, like, it's ghetto here, but we love it here.
But we love it here.
I was born and raised in South Austin, so ghetto or not, I love it.
Yeah, you're like... So the whole reason, too, and it's kind of funny because I remember when we first, like, had the conversation, and I was like, I want to do a podcast. And we were at the river, and you were like, I
was like, are you sure?
You're like, I think you're drunk. I was like, mate. I was not, okay. I was child-free, and every mom out there...
all of us were kid-free,
Oh, that's
actually.
right.
Yeah, all of us were kid-free.
We were all kid-free.
Yeah.
We had that right. The 2 friend hubbies who were there for moral support.
And they drove us.
And they drove us. They cooked burgers.
Back and forth. Oh, and they cooked. This is why everybody needs a husband. We don't have one, but our friends do, and they make burgers, and they drive us home safely.
Yeah, and they're a part of our hood.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I think that's a bigger part of this too. Is like, so one thing. Whenever I was talking to you about it at the river, I was like, I've been thinking about it for a really long time, and I think 2 things went into it. Is one, I wanted to have a counterpart that not only like do we naturally have these discussions, but like we're very similar, not just in our like values and our way of thinking, but like you're a single mom, I'm a single mom. Like, we've been through those struggles, and we're a part of this community that, dude, frankly, I don't think exists for a lot of moms. Like, it sucks, but there's a lot of moms out there that are like, where is my village?
Any new mom friends I've met at my kids' elementary school, they're like, how do you, I looked on your Facebook, like, how do you have so many mom friends? And I'm like, dude, it's taken a lot of time, but also it's a lot of my friends from, like, high school, not to like, put anybody down, but I kept those relationships, and then through them I met other people like you. Like, I met you through, you know, Brianna and Courtney, which like was years and years ago, and so it's just nonstop, like, filled by village of like where I felt any void, there's not a void anymore, because I know I could be like, hey, can you spot me $20, and one of the 8 of y'all will be like, oh hell yeah, or all of y'all, and then I have $800 in my fucking bank account before I know it. Just because my friends are like, I love you so much.
Right. And your babies.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's another
and they know that I'm trying to feed them.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's even, too, like, I wanted someone who also was going to be invested, who was going to show up. And I remember when I mean, we had obviously hung out. We had known each other for several years. But just last year when I went through a very traumatic divorce, I mean, not even a divorce, let's call it what it is, abandonment of marriage.
He literally just, like, married you, and then the next month and a half, he was gone.
Yeah, he was gone.
And you're like, Brittany, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how does that happen?
And you knew Jed had special needs, and you knew I was working from home and alone, and I was like, I got, like, 6 meetings today, and you were like, I'm there. And I'm like, even now, like...
And now I only live 10 minutes away.
I know, now you've been gone instead of like an hour. How dare you live that far from me for that long? But that's my point, is like, those moments to me are so beautiful. And there's a lot of, just like, okay, like, right, you go to any hood, right? And not just like, I know we joke like, oh, motherhood, it's like,
it's ghetto,
it's rough out here.
It's not all that.
It's like, not. There's really good,
amazing times,
moments. And that was one of them, like, that I was like, dude, and it's not just like you and that friend group I have a whole other set of friends, and I get the same feedback from women and moms. How do you have all these women? How do you have this great circle, these moms and women around you? And I'm like, honestly, I can't even say it's luck. I mean, part of it may be in a blessing, but I'd say the other part of it is I have shown up for people who have shown up for me, and I've recognized how much you guys love me and my children. And so, in return, that's what I want to give.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, if anybody who shows up for me and my kids, I will 150% show up for you and your kids.
Right.
Like, especially if I know, like, that you're feeling some type of way about something. Like, that's what makes shit rough, is because I'm like, man, I just really want them to know that they are cared for.
Right.
Like, they mean something to me and my 2 kids.
Right.
And so I feel like by showing up is exactly what you can do, because we have had a lot of people who don't show up for us.
And there's a lot of moms out there who have people who
still continue to don't show up for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And it can be like, I mean, family members, like direct related.
Friends you thought were your friends.
Yep.
But now you have kids, so they're not your friends anymore. And you're like, wow. Oh,
Amen.
so since I had kids, like, I'm like ixnayed, I guess. Like,
right.
I don't know.
And that's one thing I love about us. Like, yeah, we had a river day, and that was pre-planned, and we got to have fun as moms. But that is like once in a blue moon. 98% of the time, our plans are us getting together with our kids. What can we do with the kids? Can we take them to the pool for the day? Can we buy cheap pizzas and do a movie night? Can we buy, someone get popcorn, someone get soda, someone get candy, like, and
that's why even for my birthday coming up, like, I couldn't, like, of course no kids are involved, but like my birthday is next month, and I'm just like, hey, let's do like a potluck, because that's what I'm so fucking used to. I'm used to like potlucks because always the kids are involved.
Right.
And I mean, this time the hubbies aren't involved, so I have a little bit of salty feelings about that, but it's my fucking birthday.
You're like, so sorry, y'all.
This comes around no hubbies, like,
just
women only. Like, but no, so that makes sense. Like,
yeah, and that's one thing, like, and again, I may not be fully informed. I've listened to some podcasts. I think too, what really inspired me was 3 semesters ago when I was still getting my master's. I took a media history class which talked about podcasts and the creations in the beginning and these platforms and what they're really intended to do, and that's to create a shared space of candidness. Yeah. And there's a lot of times where I've listened to different things, and again, no hate to any other mom podcasts out there, because I think they all bring a lot of value, but a lot of them I would kind of be like, oh, maybe something's wrong with me.
It made you feel bad.
I feel bad about myself.
Well, and then you're all telling me about this, and you're like, I think we should do a podcast because you're so funny and blah blah blah, and you bring a different realness, and I'm like, I don't know how to do any of this. So if you just set this shit all up, I will be there. I will show up, and I'm sorry, whichever Brittany you get that day.
Right. Like, right. It could be, and that's again. So see, and that's what I'm saying, right? Like, I've had already 2, and again, I can't even believe that we already hit the following that we have without our first episode dropping. I'm excited to see what else is to come. And mostly I'm excited because I've already had 2 moms and their friends of mine reach out and be like, hey, can you do one on finances? Like, hey, can you do one on time management?
Single mom finances?
Single mom finances.
Oh my God.
Management.
So if I feel like if I was in a relationship right now where they were paying half the bills, that like I could actually sleep at night.
Right.
Like right now, I mean, I just kind of like, you know, you know, you get like 3 or 4 solid hours and you're like, oh, hell yeah. Like that's enough. And then you're just like, it's because I was too busy being stressed. I was too busy worrying about X, Y, and Z. How am I going to get from work to our kids' soccer game after, or to their basketball game after? And
that's what I'm saying. So like, when I would listen to some of those things, I'd be like, ugh. And to have even just those women and friends and fellow moms, some are single, some are not, ask for those things. I'm like, it's because, again, they may be out there. Please, if you know of a mom podcast that's like a little unhinged, I want to hear it. I want, like, send
same.
it to us. Like,
Yeah.
our DMs are literally
like
open. We like that stuff. And I want your questions, and I want this is what I want to see, or I want to share my story. Like, this is what I wanted this intended for, because it was, like, almost like, I'm telling you this because I want to hear it, but I'm also a little afraid because I don't think I've heard it before. And that's where I was at when I would, like, kind of look at these, because I do want to grow as a mom, right? And I want to grow as a person, as a woman. Right, every mom does.
Yeah.
But I don't want to feel like, okay, I'll say this. I have a lot of mom rage. And I feel ashamed when I would, like, hear, and they'd be like, these are my coping mechanisms. And I'd be like, okay.
None of that shit works for me.
Right. I'm like,
none of it works.
I've tried the baths. I've tried the walks. I've tried the journaling.
Not
I've tried
the
the meditation.
Epsom salt. Not the Epsom
I'm
salt.
like, I'm not doing enough of this shit.
I gotta hey, Amazon, bro, where you at? Where's my Epsom salt?
Yeah. Like, I'm trying it all.
And you're all fucking lighting, like, fucking candles. Like, they're like, take this rage away, Jesus Christ.
And I still...
You're not even batting for ghosts anymore, just yourself.
Yes, and I couldn't. I would wake up sometimes at like 7 a.m. upset. And I would feel so guilty because I would literally, my eyes would open, my alarm would go off, and I'd be like, this shit again. And then I felt so terrible being that way because, well, one, Jed co-sleeps with me, right? Mm-hmm. And he's also on the spectrum. He's got sensory issues. So and I'm sure this is just a regular 2-year-old too, when he sleeps to me, he is this close to me. Like, he is on top of me.
Oh, so whenever you jolt, he jolts.
Yes.
Okay.
If I get up to pee,
that makes sense.
sometimes in the middle of the night, I'll hear like, and I'm like, okay, so I'm like hurrying up, trying to wash my hands. And then I got to get Camden up for school. And then, mind you, the night before, like you said, I maybe get 4 or 5 hours because aside from work and all the other stuff I got going on, school, just regular stuff.
Housework, dinner. Like,
are you not thinking about that stuff at night?
Oh, me too. Yeah, I'm like, man, tomorrow I forgot to do X, Y, and Z today, so I got to do that tomorrow. And then I'm like, by the time I know it, I'm like in my head so bad as I'm like laying in bed that it's just like overwhelming all over again.
Right.
So I feel like if you overwhelm yourself with that stuff whenever you're trying to like get some rest, that right when you open your eyes, you're already frustrated. Like, you're already done. And so that's why at the end of the night, I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. Right. But mind you, it took 2 years of therapy to be able to be like, that's not what I want for myself. I want myself to be able to put my head down at night after my babies are resting and they're asleep and me get the same respect.
Right.
Because whenever I open my eyes, I want to be able to be like, I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be a mom of 2 kiddos that are healthy and like ready to tackle this world. And I feel like if you just drown yourself at night, you can't do that.
No.
Like, there's no way you can wake up in 6 hours and just be like, I love the universe. Like, it doesn't fucking happen.
No.
At all.
And too, aside from the laundry list that I would go through in my head, I would start freaking mom shaming myself at night. I'd be like, man,
why did I yell so much today?
Why did I yell at the kids? Why didn't I make dinner? Why did I pick up McDonald's? Man, Camden frustrated me at one point, and I told him, I need space. I need 5 minutes. I always do that. I feel terrible. I'm like, I need 5 minutes. Because he'll just come at me with, like, the questions and the I need this and the I need that.
Oh, that's Landon, having to know every fine line detail. If you tell Landon, this is hot, don't touch it, he's like, are you sure?
Yeah.
And he touches, he's like, I'm like, bro.
Well, Camden will just be like, okay, and God bless, like, I mean, he's literally me. Like, he'll be like, Mom, so today I know we have basketball practice, which means I should probably wash my stuff and get my bag ready, which also means what are we having for dinner because I don't want to be too full. And then what time do you think? And I'm like, dude, 2 seconds. Jed's crying. You see me trying to change a diaper, and Jed's like fighting me. And I have not even thought of dinner, and I'm still like moving my mouth so it looks like I'm active on Teams. I mean, it's there for my job because I work from home. I mean, I go in the office as well, but
it's having a 2-year-old versus a 12-year-old.
Right.
Like, it's the 12-year-old is like ready to like do all the sports and all the things, and the 2-year-old's like, why are you paying attention to me?
Yes. And so that's what I'm saying.
And then you're like, where do I care about myself in the meantime?
Right. And see, and that was a conversation I had with a friend about the time management thing. She's like, I always see that your hair's done, your makeup's done, your nails done. Like, I want to talk about self-care, time management. You do these things. But again, like, I'm glad, like, I welcome that because it's going to be candid. I want to continue to get that feedback. And like I said, like, our DMs are open. Like, tell us, like, what you want to hear because, and if you want to, like, be like, sure, hey, no one's going to name call you out. Like, I want to be anonymous, or you do want to share your story. Like, be like, I want to come on there and share whatever. Like, we welcome that because I honestly,
every single mom has been
in the hood.
Into motherhood in a different way.
Okay.
100%. Like, I've talked to 15 plus mom friends at least within the last year about like, hey, how's it been going for you? And their experience is 100% different than mine. And I'm like, oh.
And then I love that.
Oh, me too. Because then I'm like, oh, so I can either be like, all right, I'm not doing such a bad job. Like, I'm not a bad mom. Like, I thought I was a bad mom.
But feel the rage too?
Every other mom feels the same exact way. So, like, it's not just me.
Why is no one talking about it?
I don't know. So that's what we're here. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
I'm like, it's like, I'm like, okay,
we can be perfect, man.
We can.
And we try to, like, to Facebook, to Instagram, to Snapchat.
Oh,
we do the smiles. We do all the things. But, like, behind that shit, we're like, please just smile one more time.
Right.
Like, just smile just once.
Well, and that's another thing. I think, too, social media, especially in motherhood today, it's like when you see a gentrified neighborhood and it's like part of it's not gentrified yet. Okay, that's like your real motherhood. And then like the real estate agent, and you should know they're only like, okay, that is going to be worked on. Don't look at that.
We're about to fix all that. Yeah. An investor has come in to fix that up.
Let's
that's how you feel as a mom. You're like, is an investor about to come and help me right now? I'm fucking sick.
Are the gunshots in the background normal? Just like,
and it's literally their kid, Mom! I'm like, fuck!
Literally. So, and
from up the stairs, I'm like, no!
You're like, leave me alone. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think social media, you're right, has a huge role to play.
It's a stigma.
Yes.
100%.
It's not real.
It's not
and even like you can go, my Instagram's public.
We call it Facebook families.
Right.
Like it's like my older relationship.
but see,
it's what they do.
My Instagram probably, and maybe not, but may look a certain way because it's me again, like you said. Please just smile for the picture, please. Mommy just wants this one picture on Mother's Day. This is all I want for Mother's Day.
Literally, we don't ask for shit. We don't even get 5 minutes to ourselves, but take one fucking picture, please. So I would be like, hey, Mother's Day was so amazing.
Yeah, but
and it's literally you cussing half the day.
Yeah, I'm like in church, like. Don't make me cuss. You take this picture. You take this picture.
You better love Jesus Christ. Run down and act like it.
We are in the house of the Lord.
I thought you'd be acting crazy.
Yes, I'm like, oh gosh. But that's what I'm saying. And so it's like, I want to hear that. I want to see that stuff. And
are you really singing Indian style right now?
I am. This is literally how I sit all day long. If you ask anyone, I'm always like this.
She looks like she's about to meditate in her chair right now, and I can't even.
That's how much peace I need. My body naturally reacts this way. My body's like, you are stressed.
I need so much peace. Bring the legs to the chest and put your fingers out like this.
Literally.
I'm like,
this is my natural.
You look like a whole ass genie right now.
I'm
with
like
glasses and everything.
Working from home.
Oh, not the nails. Not the nails.
But so. And like, that's what's funny is like, again, people may be like, oh, okay, like, and mind you, I see moms out there too that I'm like, how's this girl pulling this? It's like that guy who's like, you guys are getting paid? I'm like, you guys are having fun? I'm like, what do you mean?
I love that.
What do you mean? You got 4 kids, you're going to school, you have your PhD.
You always look
so nice. You own a business. You always look so nice.
Your kids always look so nice.
And mind you,
what are you doing?
On a good day, my hair is down here at home. Oh, don't catch me in public on a work from home day when I gotta go to the store to get stuff, because you won't recognize me and I won't say hi to you if you do. You'll be like, Eddie, and I'll be like, who? Nope.
It's a rough hood, but it's motherhood.
Right. If you showed up today in this hood,
girl.
Good for you, girl. You already won.
Golf claps.
You already won.
For real. Like, you already did it.
Yeah. It's like, because I know there's a lot of guilt and just all these different things and anxieties and the postpartum depression and the am I doing this right?
There's literally 100+ things.
Oh yeah,
that could constantly fill a mom's brain, and only one of those fills a dad's brain.
Right.
Maybe just one.
And again, those moms may not. And if you did hear thank you today, I'm glad you did. But if you didn't, thank you. Thank you for showing up for your babies. Thank you for making dinner, even if it was frozen waffles for your babies. If they watch TV all day, thank you. Because you still showed up for your kids. You woke up, you got up, you did it.
Yep, you did it.
Exactly.
You survived another summer day.
Yeah, another day in the hood. 0 out of 10, but still come for the laughs.
Yeah. I was like, wait, still come back.
Come back and see us anytime. But, and that was the last thing that I wanted to kind of hit on was, I know we didn't expect to do anything, but we hit 100 followers pretty quickly. We launched our Instagram and our website Sunday Father's Day. That was unintended, by the way. How can we say thank you? Because that's a lot, and we haven't even aired our first episode. And so we were like, we gotta do something.
We know. Groceries are hella expensive right now. So we're gonna do, you can go and say it.
We're gonna do a $50 giveaway gift card, and so we'll announce it on our Instagram and DM us, and we'll figure out how to get you the $50 gift card to HEB, whether it's like we mail it to you, or I think they have like e-gift cards now for HEB too, right?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Or you can Amazon.
Or you can,
you can Amazon
so whatever
you
want to do, but we know more than most that, one, it's summer and kids eat a lot, and two,
too much.
They eat too much. Yeah, Camden eats way too much. But also, it's freaking hard, and inflation's real, and like last time I checked, when I went for $50 10 years ago, I could buy like a week's worth of groceries, and now I buy maybe a pound of strawberries.
I was about to say $50 only does like 2 things now.
Yeah,
it's
like
so
one
sad.
dinner, and maybe a snack.
$300 and I have 4 bags going into my house.
Oh God, don't get me started.
And I'm just like, I don't get it.
No, and that we'll talk about that too. But anyways,
definitely.
So we'll announce that, and then tune in for our next episode. We'll be here every Wednesday, just keeping it candid,
Kosher. Motherhood.
Motherhood.